Chances are, if you've been on social media at all in the last month, you've seen a smattering of odd-looking characters. A tall skeleton and a short skeleton, an angry-looking fish lady and an evil flower, a lizard scientist, a sleepy-looking kid, and a kindly goat woman. Chances are you've also heard that all these characters are, somehow inexplicably, from the same game, and you've asked yourself, how in the heck do they all fit together? It would be quite easy to write Undertale off completely based on hearsay and screenshots. So it's a slightly more ambitious RPG Maker project with some humorous dialogue and weird characters. So what? Ambitious RPG Maker games are not all that uncommon. The likes of Aoni, Ebe, and Yumi Nikki immediately spring to mind, and there probably won't be a shortage of them in the near future either. Especially considering over 5,000 people pledged money to Omocat's intriguing-looking game Omori, which is also being made in RPG Maker. So what then is it about Undertale that's so special? The game starts out initially telling you the story of a war between humans and monsters. Flash forward to the year 21X in which the game takes place. The main character, having heard stories of people attempting to climb Mount Ebert and never returning, obviously attempts to climb it and promptly falls in a hole. So, we've got a war between humans and monsters, a mysterious mountain, and a hole. The music and artwork is all pretty nice, but there's nothing groundbreaking so far. In fact, you'd be led to believe that this is your average, albeit very nicely presented RPG. But that's about as long as that notion lasts. As soon as you familiarise yourself with the controls, inputted a name and advanced one screen, the game begins to reveal itself to you. It immediately pulls a fast one in the form of Flowey the Flower. Just an incidental cutesy tutorial character to help you familiarise yourself with the gameplay, right? Nope. Flowey tricks you into running into its friendliness pellets, then mocks you for being an idiot, telling you that in this world it's kill or be killed before proceeding to try and straight up murder you, which may have worked had it not been for the motherly goat woman Toriel, who steps in at the last second. And this is where the questions begin. Why is she so overprotective? Does she know something? Why is she being so nice? How come she already had this room all set up and ready before I even got here? Why doesn't she want me to leave? This is one aspect of the game that it excels in. The characters. And not just the main characters, but the side characters and even enemy characters have got so much personality. You really want to get to know the story behind pretty much everyone. Each of the characters you get to meet along the way are unique in their own right, and will definitely defy your expectations by the end of the game. On the surface, you'd think you could predict the personality of pretty much each character, but there's actually a lot of depth to all of them as the story progresses. Papyrus, the taller of the Skeleton Brothers, initially comes over as your average goofy villain whose one goal is to capture a human and join the Royal Guard. But as you get to know him a little better, he turns out to be this huge, lovable goofball that just wants everyone to be friends and get along despite their differences. He also has some of the funniest moments in the whole game. Undyne projects this badass warrior image, but she's actually a big softie with a lot of love to give. Alphys is set up pretty quickly to be a shut-in who loves anime, building robots, and hanging out on social media, but there is a huge amount more to her that I can't really get into without massively spoiling the story. All I'll say is there is definitely a reason why she's so hesitant to call you on the phone initially. And then there's Sans. Aside from the fact that he was the first character in the game to make me actually laugh out loud, he is by far my favourite. There's much more to him than his love of puns and impeccable comedic timing. He is, as much to my surprise as probably anyone else's, one of the most interesting and intriguing characters. He always seems to know where I am, but how? And something else that may or may not be intentional that I noticed on my second playthrough, he's always looking at you. Not you, the character, you, the player. Almost as if to say, you best be on your best behavior, because I can see everything you're doing. It may be more likely to be intentional than you think. The game is actually full of fourth wall breaking where it addresses the player. It even goes as far as shutting the game off for dramatic effect, which is maybe my favourite thing a game has done ever in recent memory. Probably the highest praise I can sing of this game is that I really care about the characters. The way they're all written is so heartfelt and genuine that I can't help but be swept up in how likeable they all are. They're so likeable in fact that I began to question what kind of monster could even consider going near the fight button, which would allow you to harm them. I'll be upfront and admit I have not gone anywhere near the bad ending of this game, but I did watch someone else do it, and man. Oh man. The game has 3 endings, good, neutral, and bad. The good ending involves befriending Papyrus, Undyne, and Alphys, and sparing all the enemies in the game. The neutral ending happens when you either kill a few enemies and spare all the bosses, or you don't properly befriend everybody. In order to get the bad ending, you have to really want it. It seems simple enough, just defeat all the enemies and bosses. What makes this slightly more difficult is the game basically pleading with you to stop. To really think about what you're doing, and if this is what you really want. You see, the main thing that sets Undertale apart from other games where a moral choice system is in place is that your actions have actual, real consequences. You're not just playing through a game again and doing things differently to see what happens. Instead, the game presents itself as a real world filled with real lives that you're actively destroying for the hell of it. Even after my perfect pacifist run, when I went to restart the game to record footage, I was greeted with a screen telling me that if I reset everything, I will be ripping all the characters I made friends with from the timeline and effectively resetting the world and erasing everybody's memories. So then, imagine what happens when you just start killing everyone for the hell of it. It's not going to end well for you, to be blunt. Your save file, of which there is only one, will basically become permanently corrupted by evil. You can go back and try to be good, but there will be a nasty surprise waiting for you at the end. And that fact alone is brilliant. It's so refreshing to see actions in a game having real consequences that actually matter. Between that, the laugh-out-loud comedy, the brilliant writing, the amazing characters, and the incredible music, all wrapped up in a package that's presented with the kind of care and attention that's so rare in games today, and filled with genuine, heartfelt sentiment, bursting at the seams with the kind of nostalgia that makes you remember sitting on the living room floor in front of the TV without having to shove references in your face, makes me jealous of all the people who have yet to experience this game. Undertale makes me think that Toby Fox is the kind of guy who wants to sit down and take turns playing Super Nintendo with you until the wee hours of the morning. Undertale is amazing, and you should probably play it. Or else you're gonna have a bad time.